all loaded up. Probably should turn this on Do Not Disturb. Okay. We're just waiting on YouTube to get all going. I think we are finally officially live. Okay. So, um, guys, can you hear me okay? We are going to, I've kind of changed the display a little bit. There was some discussion that things were not as clear because it was smaller screen. So I am going to tweak some things to be very specific for Outer Empire's scene. But for right now, we've just got our logo, our brand for Atlas Gaming up on it. Um, and we'll tweak everything else later because I don't want to take away from our actual streams and helping you guys out. So today we're gonna start with going through the help feature. I've seen a lot of people who ask a lot of the common questions. There is a tutorial in the game, and the tutorial is just like every other game's tutorial. It's not as in depth as one would like. This is something you find in every game. Every game, it just gives you the basic nutshell of how to do things, and then it just kind of sends you on your way. The difference with Outer Empires 2 that I absolutely love, and something that I vocalized when the devs put it into the game with how much I do love this, and I think it's underrated and underappreciated, is he does have a help menu in this game. So I kind of want to talk about our interface first when you first create your character and get into your system, what you're looking at, what you're seeing, and then where to find that help. So once you get through the tutorial, you're like, yay, I made it through the tutorial. Now what? Or the tutorial didn't cover all of this stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's a basic tutorial. It's very basic. I have not gone through the tutorial, so I don't exactly know what it looks like completely, but I can tell you from experience with every other game that I have played, the tutorial is never enough. It's never enough. Um, so unlike other games I play where you have to get off game and go into like the wiki and find all the information, yes, we're going to have that tutorial and the wiki and everything outside of game. But the devs do put a lot of the information into the game so you don't have to leave. You can easily find what you need to find. So let's just first go off of what you're looking at when you log into the system. Your your ship is going to be docked into a station. You will either be in Kof Demorin. Let me pull this up. You'll either be in Kof Demorin, which has 4 stations inside of it. You will be in Naltara, which has 4 stations inside of it, or you'll be down here in Severiax Segma, which also has 4 stations involved or inside of it. Um, the really good blessing with starting you guys off in a system that has 4 stations in it is that your first few stations, you're not incurring any fuel costs because you're just flying from station to station to station inside. You're not having to branch out. Um, and do jumps. So that is something to keep in mind. I personally prefer Naltara. That is my personal preference, just because once I do start branching out, I have all of these systems that are around it that are easy to jump to, where Cough does not have as much, and neither does SavariX, right? When you look in comparison, it just doesn't really have that much. But one, you don't get to see that, right? When you pick a starting station. So all of the stations inside look the same. So the star bases and the space stations will actually be bigger and have more lights and bigger docking. The graphics are different than the outpost. This is just an outpost. Uh, and they all have their own functions. Okay, we'll get to that. So you are now in your station and you're looking at everything, and this just can be overwhelming because there's hexes and there's acronyms and whatever. So we're just going to go around the outside. The profile, PROF, is where you can actually see your pilot profile. It will tell you when what your active time is, the total number of credits that you have currently. Now this is just your current bank account. It's not how much you have earned on all times. If you're in a faction, it's going to tell you what your pilot ratings are. If you have just started, it's going to have one all the way across. Okay. So this is just your basic information. Your ship licenses, each of these, you'll start with all of these unlocked. Okay. These are uh, um, the the where what rank they are. Um, they are uh, they are unlocked for you to use. The service shuttle is actually your starter ship that you will be starting out in. At it, it is possible to do all three tracks in your service shuttle to start out. We have put in some requests to make a few changes just to kind of ease things, as well as letting you guys get a feel of what a military ship is and what a mining ship would be before having to purchase one. But right now, I will tell you that all of the tracks can use the service shuttle easily up to level 2, almost level 3, without too many problems. But then you have your public track. That is going to be all of your hauling ships. That would be for what you're doing with your moving resources for jobs. Um, and then we have the private track. This is more of your expansion, so your scanning and your mining ships. That's where you'll be doing scan jobs and mining jobs. You can earn experience also from mining in space. Then your military track, and you can see these. As you level up, you will unlock ships. So you can see which ones I have leveled up on my main character just based on where I've gone. Um, then beside that is your skills. These are all of the skills that are currently in game. We have more coming. Um, and you automatically start out with 3 skill points because you are level 1, 1, 1, and 1 + 1 + 1 is 3. So you will automatically start with 3 skill points. Um, I personally tell pilots to kind of hold on to the skill points until they kind of get a feel of the game and which direction they want to go, mainly because it does take a lot of time to research things. Um, and you can speed up with skill points, but you're only given a limited number of skill points, and you only get skill points when you level up. So, eventually, by the end of game, if you want to max out your character, max out those skill points, you will have to max out all of the pilot tracks. And at this point, the max level is 60. And then you have the combat records, which I have not done any combat since this came in. So my thing is not there. Lores and I will be doing another stream this either this week or this weekend to once again show and record his combat on how he fights things and um, how to do that type of thing. I'm a logistic pilot, so I am not the one to show you that type of stuff. So I am very much a defense logi pilot. I'm still trying to find my place in the military track. For this game, I don't know if I will 100% find it, but I find so much else in this game that I love that that's not a problem for me. Um, Under that is your ship. This is your ship profile. It tells you what your components are, what the status of them is at a glance. I have a lot of evolved parts on this ship. It is also heavy used. I have a reactor I need to buy and put on. Um, then I'm kind of holding off for that to tomorrow because I want to cover ships tomorrow. So I'll show you how to replace parts and stuff tomorrow. Cargo hold. This is all of the stuff that you can have in your cargo. And then if I was in a mining ship, I'd actually have another tab in here that would actually say ore hopper, and that holds separate cargo than this. So the ore hopper is very specific to the mining ships, and it holds only the unrefined resources. And then ship operations, if you need to initiate self-destruct, like you have a part that's broken and you don't have any, we don't have tugboats in game yet, but they're coming. If there's nobody on game to tow you to a station where you can pull off and repair, you can initiate the self-destruct. Um, Obviously, it does it as it says, and I have used it. It does work. So, and then you will respawn to wherever you have a clone, which we'll get to that one as well. Mail, this is where you get all of your mail in. Right now, you cannot delete mails. That is also coming. Your assistant panel, this is where it tells you all of your, not assistant, assets. I am so sorry. It tells you all of your different assets and you can have it sorted, right? So you can say all of your assets, you can have just your blueprints. So you can look for very specific things. It tells you where they are, what they are. When you hit the plus button, it'll tell you exactly where it is. And then you can use this button to show the location on the map. Um, and then from that point, you can do the autopilot. I'll show you that in a minute too. Faction, this is, if you're in a faction, you'll get to see the information that's in the faction. If you're not in a faction, you'll get to see all of the different factions that are currently in game. Um, you can also read about each of the factions. So if you hit the info button, you'll get to see exactly what those factions are, who's in them, how they kind of have their leadership set up, etc. This is the government right now. It is just a spacer. There is not that many people in game. There is not that many people in government. It's just a filler. There will be a government. It will be a player elected government. Um, and yeah, it's going to just be that'll that's just a placeholder. Um, then you have all of your jobs that you have taken. We are working to get some more information up here to basically tell you how many total jobs you have so that you don't have to go to the jobs tab over here. So this one is different than this. This one on this side with all of your profile information, this is all your personal stuff. This is your personal jobs. Okay. In comparison, this is jobs that are available. All right. So these are jobs you can take, and you'll see here that I have 7 out of 12. Everybody starts with 8 jobs. I have done skill points to allow me to take more jobs. Um, so uh, this entire side, just a way to view this entire side right here, is your personal belongings. So your profile, your ship, your mail, your assets, that's all on the left side. Um, and then the colony, if I by chance did not have a remote array, which actually I do have one right here, you'll see this one is grayed out. I cannot do anything with it until I am in that system. Okay. Once I'm in that system, then I can do stuff with it. But until then, I cannot. This is the one I put the command center up yesterday. Um, so it is showing that I do have a colony there, but I cannot do anything because I do not have a remote built on it. And I can't build a remote until the reactor is built because there's no power. So that is just that side. Are there any questions on that side of the map? We good? Okay. On the other side, This is like your ship stuff and the game stuff. So you have your hangar, this outpost. Outposts are glorified refueling stations. They have a very basic mechanic that is there where you can repair your ship parts. You are not supposed to be able to remove things from your ship or put things on your ship in outposts. Um, that is, I, because it is literally just a refueling station. It's like going to a gas station that is a pay at the pump and go type thing. There isn't any frills. You have some basic stuff where you could do like an oil change at a gas station or something like that. That's all there is to it. Um, Outside of that, there's nothing else. They are about they're about 1 million. It's like 800,000 to 1 million to purchase the construction part of it. And then it's about 800,000 to 1 million if you spend on everything to build that construction package. So in the hangar, you will see all of the available ships that you have here. Right now, it is just the ship that I am in, where you see up here that I'm currently my current ship information. I could do repair if I had any repairs. I can do refuel if I was low on fuel. And every station, outpost, space station, or starbase has a service shuttle that you can rent and go places. So what I like to do um, is I will leave some of my ships in strategic places that are easy for me to get to. Like if there's a station that's too far away from my regular hauler, then I'll just take the service shuttle to that station, hop in my ship, go get what I need, and then take a service shuttle back. So that's I love the fact that these little rented, it's almost like a bicycle rental thing, um, are in every station. Once you take it out, if you leave it into another station, go grab your ship and fly it back, a new one will spawn. So there will always be a service shuttle there. If you have a ship that you have purchased, the hull, the basic ship or custom ship, you will have down here, it will say you have a ship to commission. You'll click on that, you'll name it, it'll become yours. Um, and then I had already done a video on how to build from a whole state, but that would be done in the yard. So technically, I should not be able to do anything in this station. Um, you would need to be in a space station. Space stations are visible with the number 6 out here, and that lets you know that you can do the configurations, the fittings of anything that is from class 2 to class 6. So C2, C3, C4, C5, C6 can all be bought, um, built, re- um, like reconfigured. That can all be done in a space station. Then the star base has is what those starter systems are in government space. They have an 8 in yellow, and that means you can do everything that you can do at an outpost, everything you can do at a space station, and then you can also purchase and build class 7 and class 8 ships. Class 8 ships are not yet in the game, but they are coming, and we do have class 8 parts that will be coming. Like you can see them in the market, but you can't do anything with them right now that are part of station defense, colony defense that is coming as well in the game. So that is all in the yard, but you would be able to move stuff over. Your hold is your cargo. If I had a mining ship, I'd have two options here. It would say vessel cargo and ore hopper, and I'd need to empty out both of them. Um, Space stations, or the space structures of all types, pretty much have infinite facility storage, where you can store pretty much everything. I like to keep most of my stuff in the bigger stations just because they have a lot more protection. Okay. They're a lot harder to destroy, so they're a lot safer to hoard my belongings and my stuff. So that's my choice. I showed you the jobs. You can have this on all types and be able to see all of the different types of jobs that populate, or you can look for specific tracks. The market pretty self-explanatory. You can set all of this stuff. We'll go dive deeper into it on another day. This is your what is we call clones, but it's technically respawn points. I'm going to go down to sign here in a little while, and I'm going to show you what a clone looks like. Actually, I may not do it today. I may wait for that because it's a whole tutorial in itself. And then we have the dock. So that is that side of the screen. And then up here, we have where you can put personal notes. You can make a new note if you want to say, um, where you find certain things, you can write a note to yourself about it. If you see certain things, you can write a note to yourself. You can put in locations of things. It's a notepad in game. The bulletin is our newsletter. There are some wonderful fun reads about some of the different bugs that we have seen in the game. And we've done some fun stories with it. This is your settings. This is how to report a bug. And then this is where I want to talk about this little question mark right here, which is understated and underrated, and it's your help. Okay? This is where we're going to be today. So before we dive into it, were there any questions about what I covered so far? Everybody good on that? Just kind of getting to know your base. So in the navigation and travel, um, you have different ways of doing the navigation. I'm going to drop something in chat really quick because I find for me personally it's a little bit easier um, to read the the bigger font. So if that's the case for you, this is the page I am going to be on. It's just bigger font. A lot of it says the same thing. I have added some like little tips and tricks in there that we have found being very nice. But I'm going to undock and I'm going to kind of walk through the movement in this game. Um, I do not use hotkeys. Okay. So I will be teaching based on the point and click method. So you can choose to push a point, and you can see that I could go to dock at the station, or I can go to the waypoint there, or I can just do point and I can move. Um, Lors and I like to do the point and move when we build stations so that we can get in a perfect position to do little selfies, and we call them station selfies. So we'll do that. That is one way to move that way. Um, you can target different things in here. I would not do not target NPCs. They're not nice. They're unforgiving. So do not aggro the NPCs. You're not supposed to be able to aggro the NPCs in government space, but uh, you can in non-government space, and it can be ouchy. But you can point and then click, and then you could directly scan from here instead of having to use these stellar bodies up here. You can zoom out and you can do it that way. So you can pretty much point and move anywhere you can and it basically sets it a waypoint. Okay. So if I went and clicked here and hit move, I just set a waypoint and it will move to that location. As you see down here, it will tell me how long it's going to take me to get to that location. Right now, it is accelerating. If I was to zoom in, you would see my thrusters are going in the direction that pushes me that way. So if you ever are trying to figure out which way you're flying, look at which way the direction of the thrusters. Like if you're slowing down, I would be flipped around. I'm hoping it will show me that here in just a few minutes as I'm chatting, but you can see my velocity, you can see the power that I'm using while I'm flying around. Things to keep in mind, the heavier your ship, the slower you fly. Okay. So big ships are amazing, but big ships are also not amazing. We can say from personal experience that the 16 to 20 minute flights are not, they're not fun. They're not fun. Um, you can adjust and research all of your different parts to make that less painful, but you can only do so much. Alrighty. Um, Again, on the galaxy map, you can see all of the different systems, but inside this map, you see the stellar bodies. So you'll see the stellar bodies of the planets and the moons. So you've got the this planet here, and you have a second planet here, and then there's an itty bitty moon right there. You can barely see it, but it's there. The sensor contacts is basically what you see flying around. Eventually in game, we're going to get sensors because you need the sensors to be able to see the enemies. And there'll be ways to hide your, and it's not like a cloak. I mean, like it's kind of like a cloak, but it's not a cloak. So these are all jump lanes. Okay. They're yellow if you have to fly to them. They are green if you're right next to them. So if I was to go, we're just going to go towards it so we can kind of show you that it will change colors. If it is gray, it means you do not have enough fuel to jump that direction. So keep that in mind. Um, the orbitals are your stations. And then nav markers, they're coming. It's not in game yet. So if you're like, what is that? It's not in game yet. So it's coming. Um, so that is what you would see in the system. You only see this map when you are undocked. Um, Lores, what would be the best way to describe what those nav markers are? Because that's what I thought that they were, but Paul had said that they were something different, and you're the veteran to the game.
We should just call them waypoints.
So kind of like bookmarks, but it has something to
Yeah.
do,
Well,
because I thought he said it had something to do with the combat. I think that's where your
oh, pirate
instances
points.
are,
Sorry, we
and
used to
the
call pirate
pirates.
points. Yeah,
Yeah.
when we were able to jump in any point in in the system based on the direction we were coming from.
So it's kind
Like,
of like bookmarks, but I'm pretty sure your instances are supposed to show up in there.
right.
And then pirates and other things. So
Yeah.
it's part of the combat stuff. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure. I'm hoping that an explanation comes out before they're actually implemented in game so that I have a chance to
Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully it
put
is
that in
done.
our wiki so that way I can give a better answer, a better description of what those are.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so you'll see that my map did it turned green, which means now I am within the zone to jump. So instead of it having to fly to that jump point, I literally, if I hit this, it would literally start to um, charge my jump drive. So that's what it's doing right now. You can see up here it says charging jump drive. It doesn't have to fly. If I had to fly, it literally would say my time is how many ever minutes it is to fly there. Then it would stop and then it would start charging. So we try to put our stations close to jump points so that way we have the ability to undock and immediately start our jump drive charge instead of having to fly, charge, jump. So um, that is that is what the green and the yellow and the importance of that. You can also adjust your filters to see different things that you want to see. Everything in here is pretty self-explanatory. I can like go through it if you really need me to, but this is all really self-explanatory. Um, so these are only visible when you undock. The hanger and stuff is only visible when you dock. So, let's say that I want, because I had a lot of people who were asking about the autopilot, um, which is a fun little feature. Um, hey, thanks. So that's where the Jarvo to the rescue. Um, so it is where the combat instances are showing up on the list. Okay, that's what I thought was supposed to happen. I just didn't when I had been testing. I've not really done the combat since the testing of it back in March, and I didn't remember seeing them in that list at that time. So, thank you. Uh, the autopilot. First thing to know about the autopilot is it subtracts 2 JAS off of your ship. Okay, so it may tell you that you don't have the ability to go. I I think that that's a space chief. I think that's a feature that has been put in, a feature request that's been put in, and I think that it's been added to the roadmap or it's been considered. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and search the Discord. Because I do believe I had put something in but we had a conversation about how it would be really nice to have some bookmarks. Right now we do have the notepad that you can use to kind of help out with that type of thing. Um, so I would like to see a little bit more as well. Like that would be really nice to have. Um, especially if like you jump a lot of places, having like the last couple jumps that you made, so that you can just click and repeat those jumps. That would be really nice. Um, so back to the autopilot, you need to be in the galaxy map to see it. It may tell you that there is no path just because your jump drive is going to have two JAS subtracted off. So mine is 31 right now, and so it would read it as 29. So if something is 30 JAS, it would have to take a different route to get there. But on this path out, I can pretty much get everywhere, even if I can't, if I have to jump to a different system in between. So let's say that I want to go to sign, but I don't want to think about jumping and then having to start a new jump and then having to start a new jump. That is where this is super useful. You can click on, first off, this down here needs to be on autopilot, not route planner, autopilot. You click on a system, it's going to light up. You're going to see this yellow dashed line, and it's going to tell you how many total JAS to get there. You'll come up here, you're going to see all of the information about the system. You don't have to use the autopilot to find this. Like you can just click on it and see the information. It will tell you what facilities are in that system. So like if I hit X and I went to like cough, you would get to see that there is a starbase and outposts in there, right? So there's actually more than one. This only has one. It has one space station. This has one outpost. So that's like you can the basic information is up there. What I would love to see on here in addition to the star type, just because I am one of those people that likes to have the tactical grid, is I would love to have the region and the subregion quadrant information that is on there. A lot of that has to do with my selfish planning and uh, a massive spreadsheet that I'm filling out. It would make my life a little bit easier. So it's a selfish thing. But anyway, so to do the autopilot, you would hit autopilot. Now this doesn't automatically start it. It shows you the route. Okay, so you can see exactly which route it's going to take. And it's going to show you that it has each of these stations that it's going through. I keep this box checked, so it auto fuels. So let's say I wanted to go all the way down here. It will refuel here, and you can see that with a blue dot. And when I say it refuels, when it goes into Phaertinia, it will dock in the station there, it will refuel, it will undock, and it will resume that autopilot path. The difference between autopilot and route planner is on route planner, you have the ability to measure distances, right? So I have put in a feature request that it would be really nice if once we hit that second box, it pops up here and says, would you like to take this route? And you can hit execute, and then it would start an autopilot from what your designated route is. That would be awesome sauce in my books. Um, a quality of life feature per se. But you would just hit execute, and then if I left this, you would see that um, it has taken me out of the station. It has engaged the autopilot and my destination point. All of that information is up there. And then it is flying, and you can see the time to each jump. So that is, or you could leave it on the galaxy map and you can watch it if you want. I tend to not, because normally what I'm doing during this point is I'm going through my colonies and double checking what I need to have done, etc. I normally just use the autopilot when I'm trying to do some other things at the same time. So, um, quick tips on the navigation. Um, I personally find that clicking on objects directly seems to be um, less glitchy, I guess would say. I have a rubber band effect when I try to dock and I'm not using just the point and click. Um, when you're in combat and you get loot, you can click the combat or click the loot boxes, hit open, and it will fly you directly there. Your system map and click move or open, and it will fly you there. Always make sure you watch this, uh, and you know where your fuel is. If you run out of fuel, in our Discord, we have an SOS line that Stars has access to, and they have it bookmarked, so you can ping either a Lifeline pilot with AOA, or you can ping Stars, and Stars will come and they will rescue you. Okay, Stars is always free. AOA is free for your first. So, because everybody does a lures. Everybody does a lures. Um, so for some reason it looks like my YouTube may have crashed. There we go. I was like, it looks like my YouTube buffered for a minute. Um, and then the other thing to keep in mind is if you have a lot of stuff to haul, and the flight times are long, sometimes it is better for your ship parts, for the wear and tear and whatnot, to actually split your load so you don't have as much mass using those. Um, but that is everything that is with the navigation part. Are there any questions or extra things that I missed with just the navigation and traveling, um, with and the space structures and stuff that anybody can think of? Because that's kind of that main first section. That's really the big bulk of the figuring out how to move in space and what each of those different structures are. Since we covered the colonies yesterday, uh, I just want to make sure that everybody understands where things are and how to use them, because that was where a lot of the questions were on the autopilot and getting things. So if not, then here in a minute, whenever I get to sign, I'm going to snitch one of my reactors, and then I'm going to fly back and I'm going to show you how to get the reactor set up to show that next step of the colony construction. Um, I think there's been discussion on ships as well on the splitting of cargo. I don't know if I can do it while I'm in space. These little icons here, they'll be in your hangar and everything else like that. If you have information, you can just hit when you hover over it, the tooltip should pop up. Hi, Ghost. Um, it'll pop up and show you what it is. If it says missing tooltip, that is a bug. We're supposed to have tooltips on everything. So just to kind of just a heads up that all of this has been put in. So if it's not showing, we need to let the devs know that for some reason it's gone rogue, as I like to put it. But the middle icons, they can kind of be really hard to see since they are really small, which is where those tooltips are super handy. It is like SG. And this is where I'm really hoping that our boys come to fly. It is not quite yet mobile yet. There are some of the devices that we're starting to find that are smaller screen that touch screen that can work. A lot of them are like the Steam Deck or the bigger tablets that seem to be able to run the game. I think Jarvo said it's actually the browser settings that's the problem. Um, I think is I think that's right. Um, right now though it is a PBBG, a browser game, and it's kind of like a mix, in my opinion, a mix of Eve and Second Galaxy. There's a lot more Eve to it than Second Galaxy, but the non need to be on the game all of the time. So uh, it's kind of where I started testing it when Second Galaxy started going down. Um, and then I really started to build it out afterwards, after the game disappeared. So I do know several pilots are going to be coming. We do have several of our guys already here. Jacker's here, Ninja Moose is here, Che is here, Lors and I are here. Zarth, Tem, Blue Mango are all waiting for the mobile. I believe Cappy is waiting for the mobile. Melamis is kind of watching and seeing what's going on as well. And Melamis has a lot of clout in the Chinese gang. So we'll see. Yes. But yeah, really quick, I don't know how long, if you have a computer, I don't know how long the Alpha 4 testing will be open to new testers, but you can definitely check out Paul's the hey, well, we've got people in Eve Echoes too. Che is over in Eve Echoes, and Pyro is in Eve with Korinsky. So we're kind of going to hope that we can get everybody and we can just do a try game where we do Eve Echoes, Eve Online, and Outer Empires. That's kind of our end goal, is to see if we can't get all of the guys. Okay, so it'll be eventually mobile that you can play on then. But definitely kind of keep and look on that. Um, if you're interested in testing at any point in time, you can register on that website that I dropped into chat. But it's really good to see you. So, um, but on the splitting cargo, you just hit that middle button. When I hovered over and it said split cargo, you just click that and you can cut things down to whatever your cargo space is. Um, Most of the time, the jobs will stay within that space shuttle until you get a little bit larger. And then you have the choice of either purchasing standard cargo pods to put onto the service shuttle, or evolved cargo pods to put on the service shuttle, or you can upgrade to the next ship. Um, Based on your level. So that is ways to overcome the space issue. FYI, with this game, Ghost, it works the same way as Eve Online and Eve Echoes. It's not like Second Galaxy of when you move, everything moves with you. It is very much a shuttle back and forth. It is also very much the same way with the career paths. There are a ton of different directions you can make a ton of money with the mining and the selling, the refining, and marketing. That all that all is still the very very similar feel um, in both games. So I've got two more jumps to go. If I had been if I had not had the day I had, I would have already had my reactor where I needed it to be. But it's been a day. So I will be publishing this on the different Reddits. I do believe Paul has asked me to get it on a couple specific ones. Um, and then I'm putting it on a couple others. We're watching the analytics of that to kind of see where we can grab some people and grab the attention. We found out that the shorts are doing very well on YouTube, so or not YouTube on Facebook, so that's going to be a thing. So I'll put that up as well. Um, we will eventually, probably in the next couple of weeks, start working on the wiki on my website where we actually start putting all of the data. I have a couple players who are building out spreadsheets, and we'll probably get a little bit of assistance from them since they've already started building that out to get stuff up so you can see the differences of stuff. Um, and make that just a little bit easier for everybody so that they can see it. But again, while that is not visible in the help section, Paul has put it into the market, which I absolutely love. If you go in to the ship components, um, as you can see, I have my reactor there. You can see the differences that it will be. Like putting it on, it's a small reduction in the power, but that's because it's evolved. And when you research things, one thing goes up and one thing goes down. So you kind of have to look and see. While the power went down a little bit, my hit points went up a lot. So you can see the differences of what I currently have and what I could buy. So let's say I wanted to get a new jump drive, um, and then I could do my ship class. I would do my current class because otherwise I pull boo-boos and purchase things that I can't put on my ship. I do it all of the time. Um, I hope so. I mean, like, if you've not left any of our servers, I don't think. Are you still in the Red Star server? Because if so, then we definitely have each other. If not, I will make sure I'll reach out to you and make sure that you have me on Discord. But I thought you did. Um, but I changed to my current class because I'm terrible. I am so terrible about buying things, and I'm like, ooh, that price is amazing. And then I'm like, that's why it was amazing. It's a class two, and I'm in a class five. That's not going to work. Not one bit. Nope. So you can actually see the differences where, like, look, oh, all of this is worse than what I have on my ship. That's not going to be something I'd want to put. But that would be, that's ways of looking at the comparison without having to go into the wiki and doing the math yourself. It's all visible. It's all right there. It's gorgeous. I love it. It's a great change from in my personal opinion. It's one of my favorite things that got added into the game. I am very visual. So I want to be able to visually see what the changes are before I actually pull the trigger. Um, as I'm flying, you will notice that the way we do have our stations planned right now, we have it set up a very specific way. Um, Down here is pretty much where we wanted to help players to get to because there is a lot of systems and they can, ooh, that was too far. All right, there we go. They can go pretty much anywhere, right? So all of these stars are systems, and these are the known systems. Um, no, I'm still Birdie Quinn. That's what I am on Discord. So if you got Birdie on there, then that's likely me. You could probably shoot me a message, and I could shoot it back and let you know that it's me. Um, 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 but I wanted to make sure that you guys got to wherever you wanted to go, right? So we made the steps to get down to here. Where you go from here, that's completely up to you. Our job was to help you get out of government and into non-government in a safe format where you can do. And then if you scroll all the way out, you can just like see kind of what we look like. Um, but then you can also turn all of the backgrounds. I have all of the backgrounds on just so that I can see the quadrants and whatnot. But our goal was to get out, and everything is within 30 JAS. And if you go into the market for the holes and you go into the hauler, you will see the stats for this, right? And so it is a class 3. So then I would go in. I always look first and then go. Like you may have things memorized. I sometimes do, but I always look to be safe. That's just my personal thing. Like I'm just saying, I need to change this to 3 just for now. And then I'm going to look at the jump drive for the hauler. Each one of these are different types. I always look at the mil spec because it has the longest jump drive, and you can see that the max jump radius is 35. But even if, and all of our stations are 30 or less, so even if you wanted to go with the standard, there we go. Even with the standard, it's 27. You would be able to make everything. You would just have to make a pit stop here, right? So it would have to be a jump here, here, then here, to be able to make it all the way down. So everything in our system, you would only need a hauler. I would strongly suggest having mil-spec parts. That's my personal preference. But standard works. Standard is it's like if you're looking at grades A, B, C, it's C. It is overall good for durability. It is I mean, like it's average for stability and durability, and it's average for the performance, the aspects. Mil spec is like the top of the line, the bougie stuff, right? You get the durability, you get the high performance, um, rugged. It's extremely durable, but it's not always the best performance, but it will last you a long time, right? Because it's rugged, it's durable, it's like that Jeep. It can just or the Nokia phone that you can run over 50 million times that y'all don't have no more. Um, same type of aspect. So a lot of things what parts you put on, just look at what the wear and tear is like. Think about what you're using it for. Think about what you're taxing on it, and then make the decision on how you want to fit your ship. My personal preference, mil spec. That's that's just what I like. It's how I like to fly. I find less problems with it. I don't have to replace things as often. Um, so that is my preference. We are about to land in sign. Flying. All right. Now, autopilot does not take you to the station. All right. It takes you, well, there went Lars. It takes you to the system, but it does not take you to there we go. It does not take you to the actual station inside. It takes you to the system only. Um, so I would click on the anchor and it would actually fly me to the station. And then when I get into the station, oh, I need to close all this. When I get into the station, then I can show you what I mean by the storage is a lot bigger in stations than it is everywhere else. So, alrighty. So, like I said here, um, I have the ability to repair my ship damage. And so I will do so. I prefer to do repair all. You do not have to do it as repair all. You can do it as each individual part. So um, you could go through here and the gear over here, which it says the no sign because I don't have anything else to repair. Um, but you could click on that and just repair specific parts if you wish. I repair all because the wear and tear is relative to what the hit points are at the time. So some cases I prefer not to use the autopilot. I prefer to just go station to station for a few reasons. One, so that I can repair as I go. It's cheaper and less damage to my parts. Um, and secondly, because I can pick up jobs and run them on my way back. So just some things to keep in mind. Then I'm going to go ahead and refuel everything right now. I'm going to go to here. I have to drop all of this stuff off, but I'm going to do it on my way back to show you what it looks like to do it on the way back. Um, and then I need those because I'm going to do that after we get off stream. Okay, so here are my flat packs. I have the remote array. I'm going to go ahead and split my cargo because I need one of them with me. And I'm going to put one into my ship. I'm going to split the cargo and take one of my warehouse because I need one of them. With my specialists, I need two specialists and two white collars. Now, you could just take one and one if you really wanted to, since you've got to go back out anyway. For me, I don't mind the negatives. Okay. So if you don't like the negatives of the freeloaders, just take one specialist and one white collar because you don't need the second one until you build the remote array, which is actually going to be your day 3 of colonization building, colony building, because you have to do the command center, then you have to do the reactor, then you can do the remote array. Um, so if you don't want to see freeloaders present, then only take the one specialist and the one white collar, and take the others when you go back. So um, then I have all of, I'm going to be snitching from one of my other compartments, hopefully. I think I have reactors. I'm gonna sift. Why do I have a reactor there? That's done. I think. All right, well, I'm going to go one jump over to get my reactor. I don't know why I have a reactor sitting over there. So we're going to go run over there really quick. It's supposed to be inside. I don't know why I took it over there. And why I left it there. That's a better question. Is why did I leave it there? This is why I don't like building late at night because I leave random stuff in places. So, as you can see, these stations, they are a lot bigger. Like I said, the space station, a lot bigger than an outpost, also takes a lot more resources to build. It costs a lot more to buy the construction setup, um, uh, the structure of it. So, gonna go ahead and um, let's see. It's gonna grab. So again, most of this stuff we we have on our website, but we also do a lot of Q&A. In our Discord, we have a huge public section with the lobby, open talk. We're going to be putting a stage in there where we can do some Q&A, combat stuff. Lors and I are trying to find some fun events that we could probably hold, races, just some other things that to start really flexing and finding out how to do certain things. And we can do that with the stage and the streaming. And then we have a huge interstellar bazaar where people can post what they're looking for, as well as search people's store. So if that's something that interests you on that, we have several roles. We have the outside roles, which means you do not have to be in AOA to be part of the Discord. Uh, I I would love to eventually see most of the players on our Discord so that you guys can talk franchise ideas. We've heard a lot of different things from different players, even in our faction that we hadn't even thought of different ways you can make money in this game, like credit money, not outside money, but credit money. We have a lot of those idea generation sections in the franchises. We have visitor roles where you can actually get to talk to pilots in the game, and you can kind of find out a little bit more about the game as well. We do have a prospect section, so if you kind of want to check out AOA, but you don't want to pull the trigger yet, we have a role for you. And I don't like I love I love having a faction, love having a big faction. But like I know a couple of the guys that I'm trying to bring to the game. We've already talked. We probably won't be in the same faction, but we will be heavily aligned with each other. He just likes to fly solo, and that's just who he is. Um, and so I'm all for solo pilots as well. I think that they have a place in the game. And there are different things that you can even do to be able to ensure that you have access to um, the space stations and all of that sort of stuff at all times. So I'm going to be flying to my colony because that's where it is. So it's actually not in this system, it's next door. I just can't reach it from sign with my jump point or my jump radius, but that's what I was saying is that like everything in our system is within a jump eventually. So I'm going to put our Discord for Outer Empire's Army of Atlas into the Discord. Um, Again, if you're interested in the game and you want to look at being a tester in, like I said, I don't know if Alpha 4 is filled up yet, but we definitely have a beta test that will be coming out later and then live. You can register to be a tester on that website that I had posted earlier. I will be sharing it here again. Um, really close to the end of this stream. So I was going to try to get that reactor installed. So if you guys are not interested in that, you're more than welcome to like cut the stream here. I'm going to do shorts. So I will cut and clip a lot of this out and put it up as a short so that you guys can see it later. That's completely up to you. It's going to be kind of um, a long flight back just because I'm just going to show how to drop cargo off. So if you guys have questions right now would be the great time. I can answer them whether they're related to anything that we have had on what we're covering or if there's something specific that you need answers to. I was trying to watch chat most of today to kind of see where choke points have been. Um, We've been doing the discussion of the military. There's been a lot of adjustments to the military since it first came out, and it still has a little bit of tweaking to do. Once again, one thing I absolutely love about this game is the fact that the Discord is an active Discord, and there is a place to put in feature requests. So if there's like quality of life or bugs that you think you see, or you don't know if it's a bug, you can always talk about it there. Um, some of the things that are the feature requests that have come into the game. Um, Include having these flags here visible so that you can see the where your jobs are visibly both on this map here, which was also a feature request. So that's all visible, making life a little bit easier. I do believe we will be getting flags on planets, so when you have scans, you can see exactly which planet, asteroid, moon that you need to fly to. That's a feature request that's been changed. With the military track, missiles will no longer be in ships until you have a ship that can battle them, which is going to be a huge blessing because while you can defend against missiles in a fighter bomber, the Corvette, which is unlocked at level 6, is much more, um, it's set up to be able to equip the correct equipment to defeat or to evade, I should say, to evade the um, the missiles and make sure your path a lot easier. So those are some feature requests that have come in because of the game, because of or those are features that have come in because of requests in the Discord. So it is an active Git Discord that is monitored, and it's not just a stagnant information place to go. So um, that is definitely a place to go and find more information out. Um, Well, I'm flying everywhere. Can you think of anything? Oh, I think he's not available right now. He's listening in, but he is not able to talk at the moment. Don't know if he's able to text or not. Just can't think of anything that I have forgotten at this moment that needs to be talked about with those um with with what we've covered today. Alrighty. Alrighty. Let me answer this question. All right, so just so you guys know, because I don't have the chat really showing for protection wise, there was a question in game that is there a way to tell player ships from AI ships? Um, just for you guys to know, yes, there is. Um, and when I undock, I'll show you what it looks like. Um, in when you undock, uh, so by the way, the reactor saying warning. Yeah, my reactor's getting bad, but you saw that I had it in sign. I was gonna try to see if I can make it until tomorrow, but I don't know if I can, so I may have to do a recorder of a short tonight just to let you guys know how to do that. Anyway, but on sensor contacts, if it has like the ship type with the registration number, then it is an AI ship. If it is a person, a player, it will have their name and their tag on it. So that is how to tell uh, which one is which. So I'm going to go back now that I have my reactor, and I'm going to start going back. I'm going to start dropping off cargo so I can get a little bit of money to cover the fuel and the repairs. I'm also in the process of saving up money um, to get another space station. So I don't know if you guys can hear my cats, but they're screaming at me right now. I have a cat who does not like me leaving the house at all. I am to stay home and always be loving and be available. So she likes to tell me off about this time. So what I'm doing now when I say that I'm doing some cargo jobs, yeah, the cat tax. I'm telling you, she's horrible. I had to work Mother's Day weekend for 4 straight days, and it was like 8 to 10 hour shifts for 4 straight days. And she lost her ever loving mind. She lost her mind. She went complete bonkers. And then when I got home and I spent time with my kids, I actually had to have their dad come and get them because my cat would not let me leave my freaking house with anybody. So, yeah, he thought it was hilarious. I did not find it so funny. He found it hilarious. So, also really nice having, your ex-partner is still a really good friend, so like things just kind of roll off the back and you can make jokes like that and be able to rely on things without that being a falling out. Um, I don't know, but yeah, she makes life interesting. Murder Mittens. Mm, she's fantastic. Um, but the running the hauling jobs, just kind of a quick caveat. When you're doing it is a way to kind of create a cushion, a buffer. So I had shown in some previous streams that were weeks ago, so they're not around anymore. But when I grow my account, I actually, while I'm using my service shuttle to do all three of the different tracks, I will literally pick up all of the different types of jobs. So like if I'm going to an instance that is 2 jumps away, I will try to find cargo jobs that are going to be going along the way. And then maybe if possible, I find a scan job that's in my instance system. I will go do my instance, my combat. I will pick up the scan, and then I will fly back, and I will get paid as soon as I complete the combat, I will get paid for the combat. But then I get paid for that scan as soon as I drop it off. And if I can, I get the cargo on the way there and the way back. That's even more of a cushion. So it's kind of a nice way to start creating a loop and a way to start build up of all of your different career tracks and be able to just kind of cushion that struggle point of the credit grind at the very beginning, just because you're doing multiple things in the same systems as you go across. So, and that is doable in any of the starter systems, right? Because most of those starter systems, the level one jobs, some of the level two, I don't remember what level you're at when they stop doing in the same system. Um, I know that like when I have not built up my reputation in two of the new systems at the new stations because they were added in later. Um, and I still get some of the job to job or station to station. I do see a few in like Naltara, even though I'm at 100% for reputation on all of those. Um, but you knock everything out, right? You just kind of go and it's a grind. And as many of us found out, like you'll get going on a grind and the next thing you know it is like 4 hours later and you're like, well, that was not what I had intended to do. I am not going to actually pick up any jobs here. I'm getting really close on my cargo hold. So I'm going to go ahead and use the autopilot and I'm going to show you that I don't even have to undock to use the autopilot. So I'm going to just do that right here and show you. I'll do the autopilot to Jordanian because that's where I have jobs in my hold to drop off. I want to make sure I don't have anything in sign. Okay. Um, so I'll hit that, execute, and then it engages and then it launched, right? So where to check the reputation in the jobs hex on this side. I'll show it when I drop off the cargo in Jordanian. But on this side where the jobs are, where you can pick up jobs at the very top left, it will say reputation. Um, Starting reputation is 50. So 50%, 50. That is what you will start out as. If as you complete jobs from that station, it will go up. The higher it goes, up to max of 100, the better experience the jobs will pay out, and the better the pay it pays out. Um, and if you reject job, or like if you trash jobs, so like if I went over to this tab and hit the trash can where it says cancel the selected job, um, it will cause you a pretty significant reputation loss. So you could start at 50. If you take like 5 jobs there and cancel all of them, you could go down to only a 10. Obviously, then your reputation is damaged and you will not have a good payout for um, you won't have a good payout for credits or for the experience because you're not going to be as trusted. Um, the other thing to note about that is jobs that you take in stations in non-government spaces, they do have a payout that is 25% higher than government spaces. Um, and then you can increase that more with your skills. So, self-made millionaire, you get more credits, and then I don't remember what the other one is. Sound is a pound. You can get more experience. The best part about the experience one is if you're wanting a reprieve on the leveling, that's a way to do it because you'll get more experience and you'll level a little bit faster. I personally, I'm fine with the slow grind on the experience. That's that's my personal preference. There's so many directions to go in this game. So here in a minute, actually 2.5 minutes, I am very slow because this thing I need to change it out. That's why I said I may have to do it and just do a short to show you guys what it's like to just change out one part. Um, but this reactor, it's taken some hit points. It's seen some love. So my power regeneration. The thrusters is how fast I can fly. But the biggest thing weighing me down is all of the cargo that I have in here. So, but I will show you exactly where to see that reputation here in a minute. Mm-mm-mm. I mean like oh, I should say there is music in the game. I don't know if I can get it to play. Mine doesn't like to play the music very well. No, mine's not playing the music. So I normally have it turned all the way off. I don't know what it is with my browser. It doesn't get along with the music in the game, so I normally turn it off. But there is music in the game. My browser just doesn't like to play it. I do have, okay, so I have, my combat is 100%. Um, it plays very well for me, but I have my mining turned off because mining sounds the same as combat, and I don't want to think that somebody is shooting at me every time I fire my mining laser, because that happened. Actually, it wasn't me. Lors was mining, and I was out running cargo runs, and I thought I was being shot at because I could hear his mining. I use Chrome. I use Chrome browser. I am a Google through and through. I, yeah. I think I have the Opera that's installed on this. For a while I had all of them. I had Firefox, Opera, um, DuckDuckGo, uh, Bing, Edge. Yeah. Yeah, see, I think it's a, I don't know if it's a Chrome thing because some people don't have problems with the music in Chrome and other people like me do. But since I'm not usually a music person in game, like I generally turn it down in most games, for me it doesn't affect me too much. I just find it weird that we for a while it was a thing and then we fixed it where 90% of everybody had music. Mine will, if I restart the game, like completely clear the cache, it will work for about 30 minutes and then it will stop working. So I'm just like, no, we're just gonna turn it off. It's fine. It's not oh, the other sounds? I don't have problems with any of the other sounds on on my Chrome. I literally have no other problems. Just the music and it's the weirdest thing ever. But I decided that since I don't like music to start with, I mean, I love music. I don't like game music. I'm just not a game. I need to be able to hear other things, and the music, I can't do all of the different sounds. My ears struggle filtering things out. Laura's will even tell you that if too many people are having conversations, I'm like, okay, everybody needs to shush. And I apologize for that. I have to do an update later tonight. My computer just told me I had an update waiting for me. So that'll get done. Um, yeah. All right. So I need to repair. And as you see the cost to repair, it's pretty high. And it's because I didn't repair in every station. I did a thrusters to turn and rotate main drive to go in the system. Well, thrusters also slow you down because you turn. Well, I mean like it's to turn and rotate, but your thrusters are what slow you down too, right? Or are you talking about the fact that my ship is going slow because it's my reactor, the power? Because I'm low on power to be able to run all of the other ship parts because my reactor needs changed. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't I'm having a power problem. I have a power problem often, but there's that. Okay, so I actually am gonna see if I can get a job to go into the next system just because my repairs are gonna be up. but of course I can't. Oh, that's awesome. But up here is where you see the reputation. So it says the reputation and the specific station that I'm in, and it will give you just a little bit about the reputation information, but it will show you that I have 100, which is the highest possible. I'm just gonna take E jobs. That's if I went in, it probably would have. Oh no. Oh, okay. So apparently Eve just or Jordanian wants to just throw me all my combat missions. So, it can kind of show you what, like it lists a RNG will pull up a random mix of jobs. So if you come in here and you see that there's only like two of those, you can always see which jobs are actually showing up to figure out which role. And my RNG, it's I need to pray to RNGs this a little bit harder. So yeah. Um, to speed things along, we're gonna skip that station. Oh, 4 minutes. Ow. I should have just switched out my reactor while I was in sign. Should have just done that. Oh well, hindsight's 2020. Yeah, I actually have been noticing that recently. I've kind of been looking that the blue jobs are not throwing very many, at least not for me either. I have not gone onto my alt to see on it, but I'm only showing like one, maybe two of the scan jobs. I don't know. Um, uh, I don't know if that'll change when Paul puts back in the mining part for the blue jobs. Because he had taken it out because we didn't have mining ships yet, and we're like pulling mining jobs without having mining ships, and that was a problem. Um, but he left it at the scanning of asteroids and scanning of the planets. So I'm wondering if when he re-puts the um the mining jobs back in, if that'll boost those blue jobs. I don't know. I do agree though that the percentage it's supposed to be pretty even odds, and I don't think I think it's skewed. Just like I'm trying to gather some information. We're working on one thing for the scanner stuff. Something happened, and once that gets fixed, I'm trying to check. I think the asteroids have skewed the results on which systems pull which have more possibility of throwing which resources. Um, because it was a very significant difference, and now with the asteroids in there, we're showing all of the resources can be pulled in one specific type and nothing else. Well, well, not nothing else, but low percentages everywhere else, and we're like, well, that's not right. So so um, we're trying to see where that bug is. So we've got some, but we have to fix my scanner first. So one step at a time. At the moment, we're more concerned about making sure that the new pilots can grow. So all of the other little bugs and tweaks, those are kind of been put on hold. We're pausing on those at the moment to make sure that we get the ones that, um, like the quality of life feature that's going to be coming out. Either came out today or it's going to be coming out in the next patch, where missiles will not be on ships until the Corvette, so level 6. Oh, this is where I like to say, want to get out and push. Push. Although this is nothing compared to what we were experiencing when we were building our star base in Alpha 2, because I was using my sensor contents. Are you in system with me? Um, or are you going into Aslan? Haha. I wish I'd seen that because then I could have shown the chat. Oh well. Um, the difference in the two where it shows the oh, there we go. There we go. Look at that. Um, so there you can see that it shows a player name and the ship name, as well as the registration number and the faction. So you can tell the difference. Um, I did jump. I had to. I have to go to Tarnaxion to load my cargo. Um, but you can tell the difference between the AI and PCs and the others. So when we were building the starbase, we made it like 40% complete before the end of Alpha 2. But when we were building it, we were using strategic movers to move large amounts of resources at a time. So we had these big ships that were loaded with lots of resources, and my flight times were like 17, 18 minutes. So, uh, Lors and I we'd we'd put on a show and sit there and watch TV while we waited for our stuff to fly. I now have like 50 million things that I really should be doing. Normally, instead of being on stream, I would be working on my novel that I'm writing, the website, or I would be working on my cross stitch. So that's what I normally do when I'm waiting for these long flights to finish. Also, if I scrolled all the way out, like zoomed out, Um, while seeing in stage or in space there, you can see on here where they're going. And I find it, I don't know why you're yellow. Oh, because diplomacy hasn't been put in game yet. You will not always be yellow, uh, because you're in my faction. Your color will change, but diplomacy has not been added to the game yet. That is coming soon. So just to get an idea of where I am taking this reactor, that was Lors. He should be joining us here soon again, though. Um, I am taking it from, I'm taking it right here is where I'm going with it. That's where I've got my colony again. Now you can see that I have a house here. I already have a colony there. I am putting another colony in there. You can have one colony on every moon and planet that has an available slot in a system. So, like if you, I know that Scalorn does this. He, like I said in other videos, other streams, he is the colonizer. I don't have the patience for it. I don't. I'm not gonna beat around the bush with that. I don't have the patience for it. I have way more colonies that I really want, um, but I don't. They frustrate me. I don't like colonizing. I much rather do the credit grind. That's my preference. Um, but you could have a colony at every one of the planets, moons, as long as there's an available slot, and you can have like all of your stuff and just move it around. So, like, say you want to be a solo player, and you find a system with like 12 moons or 12 moons and planets together, like all of that together. So, and they all have really good resources or like medium to high quality resources. And you could have mining and refining and research and manufacturing all going on in one system all to yourself, and build up a really good location. Um, what I'm working on building is just a warehouse colony, so that way I can just shovel everything out of one colony into a warehouse, just to kind of see how all it works, and that way I can empty out um, some of the warehouses that are getting full, while I wait on a bigger ship to be researched and produced, for me to be able to move that into our space station of Sign. So, because I have too much. I don't know. I'll check, see if I'm at the hit level yet. Nope, I'm still good. We're we're hurting, but we've still got a little bit of room. So if you see here, it's like 435,000 out of 510. Now, I could just build another warehouse here, because with the structures, I'm only at 48 out of 65. So I could, but then I would have to do the calculations again on whether I need to bring in more hydroponic bays and habitations and all of that sort of stuff. So for me, instead of having to rerun that calculator, I am just going to build a warehouse colony that has like 4 or 5 warehouses, um, and set it up, and I can just stash stuff in. Oh my Lanta. All right, I may have to, um, if you drop again, I may just have you stay out until you exit the subway, just so that it doesn't keep banging in my ear. Because I don't know how loud that is across the streams. I apologize, guys. But we'll go. Um, I cannot quite reach these colonies from this place, but I can in Eve and I can in Che. That may change when I get my next jump drive, um, and it may speed all of this up. But until then, I have jobs to drop off in Eve, and then I'm just gonna go straight over to Eubraxis and show that. And then after I show that and show the drop off and the assigning of the people, I am done with this stream for what I wanted to show. Um, and so if there aren't any other questions, then we'll probably call it a night. Um, Here in just a second, it's going to dock on that station. There we go. You'll see that I have a lot more ships in Tarnaxian, and that's because we have a few systems nearby that actually are great mining locations. So I have my mining ships right around this location. Doot. Anything for Eve while I'm here? Yay. All right, I'm gonna do that. Oh, we'll leave that one alone and I'll deal with that one later. All right, we're gonna go to Eve. But yeah, so just some quick notes, real quick again. our uh, tutorial, and then you can get to our wiki, our resource page. Then um, once everything is in the game, so probably it'll probably either be beta or live. One of those two, I will actually start doing the video tutorials that we will literally, I will not actually be streaming those. I will do those as recorded videos, and I will post them on YouTube and Twitch, as well as making short little clips of them for just like highlighting parts. Um, so that is all in that website there. If you are interested in the game and you have not registered yet, because this video will be posted in Reddits and subreddits, then this is the website you need to go to. I do not know how many more spots they have open for Alpha 4, so if you are interested, go now. And like, don't wait for me to show you the rest of this. Go now, and go to the alpha beta section and click on the register interest for the alpha beta testing, um, and follow those steps. And Paul will reach out to you and let you know whether we have spots in this testing or not. I am not on the dev team. I am just a spokesperson for the game who absolutely loves the game, and I've been here since pre-alpha. Um, but he will let you know whether we have spots open right now or whether we just need to wait for the beta testing. Hopefully, that will be coming later this year, and that'll be that'll be that. And then we appreciate all of the support you guys have shown us through following of the Twitch and YouTube. Um, my ability to show you guys something that I love and that I'm passionate about. Um, and then on the weekends, we'll be able to show the uh, the combat portion. This live stream itself, I do record it and then post the clips. So if you want to go back later and find specific parts, I will be pulling those out and making them clips. I do have another pilot in AOA who also helps with the video editing to cut it apart and make specific sections. So those will be in the shorts, for YouTube shorts and in the Twitch clips. We will get those uploaded for you guys to be able to see things that are very specific instead of having to watch and scroll through the entire stream um, to find what you're looking for. So, tomorrow night, I do plan on hopefully going live again. I say hopefully because Mother Nature is going to start throwing a curveball over the next couple of days. So, if I can't get a stream up, it's because we're having some wind issues. But I do plan on talking about the ships just a little bit more in depth. I know I told you guys today where to look for the ships being unlocked, but I do plan on talking just a little bit about the ships and equipment. um, we are not going to go over them as in depth. We're going to break it down, right? I'm not going to do everything all at once for the ships. They're massive. So we will talk about the basic holes. We will talk about the uses, the proposed bonuses right now on them. I say proposed because one, they're not in game yet. Two, they are subject to change. Um, so until they are in game and they are a thing, it is subject to change. Um, Based on conversations between devs and pilots, based on feature requests, based on their desire to make something different. I know that we're trying to find some more logi positions, and that maybe change, um, because we would really like to see if we could make logi ships out of ships that are already in game instead of adding more in. So um, we're just going to cover the basics tomorrow night. We'll just pray that Mother Nature plays nice. All right, so I am in system. Because I have a horrible memory. I have a Dory brain. I'm gonna go up here and show you. I'm looking for one specific. Hang on. I thought they were alphabetical. There they are. Okay, it is alphabetical. All right, so on this one, you can see that I do not have the remote array. Earlier in the stream, I showed this was grayed out. It now shows in system. So I still could, I mean, so I can access it and do things on it because I am in the system. Alrighty. The same with this one. This one says in system, but I have a remote on it, so I can do stuff with it anywhere. But I wanted to make sure that you saw that this is no longer grayed out. I do have the ability to work on this colony while I'm in the system. Now, I don't have anything in its warehouse, so you'll see here um, that I don't have anything to add. I got to go over to it. Um, and then you'll also see here, this is just the overview of it, where it says the colony is expanding, the contentment is 0. Um, you will notice here that if you do not put a worker in, that it doesn't run at 100%, okay? Um, so instead of it providing 2 food and 2 habitation, sorry, I'm turning into a pumpkin because it's almost midnight. You only get a half, right? So I need to go to that colony to start my to put the workers in and to start my reactor, because you will see up here there is 0 power. So I if I tried to build the array, it wouldn't go online because I don't have the power to run it. Up here it shows you that there's partially operational. Okay. So, and if I had built the array, it would say non-operational. And I literally just forgot to look at exactly which 4. Um, so these houses are all the ones that I have colonies on, and so I just have to find the one that so the house, but it matches the 4. Again, planet size matters for slots only, right? So you have, if it says dwarf, that means it is a smaller pilot going, or smaller planet or a smaller moon, and it will have fewer slots available than, say, a giant. Okay, so you have the ice giant, and then you have the um, the ice dwarf here. Here you can kind of see the different types of planet sizes there are. If it is a open circle like this, it is a moon or a star. If it is filled in, it is a planet. And then asteroids are a whole different thing, but they don't even have a name. They just say AST for asteroid. So we'll do this one last thing, and then I will sign off. Um, if there are no other questions, so it should only be like a couple more minutes for me to show how to do this, and then I get to begin the editing phase of these videos. So that they can be up for your pleasure tomorrow and to look back on in a cut form. So live streams will always be available on YouTube because I do stream to both of them. So if you want to rewatch the full live stream, that is visible on YouTube. They will stay up there in past lives. The recording of it, once it gets done through editing and stuff, then I will try to upload that to Twitch so you can see past stuff on Twitch, but most of those will actually just get turned into clips so that it's easier for you guys to find specific things that you want. Alrighty. So in the warehouse, I will come over here and you will see that I start with only 10,000 space. This is why I say My personal preference is to take these three specific flat packs and build them first. So the reactor, the remote, the warehouse, in that order. That is my choice. That is how I build. I know many other pilots build differently, and it is 100% how you like to build. There is outside of needing to start with the command center because you don't have a colony without it, there is really no right or wrong way. Okay. Um, I don't put the blue collar workers in until I have a lot of stuff built. I tested in the previous test just throwing all of the workers in at once. But our contentment index wasn't a thing back then. So I'm having to kind of toy and change how I do things, just because we do have that contentment index. Find what works for you and stick with it, right? Like I can tell you how I do things, but find your happy place in the building of the colonies. So I move those all over, and you'll see that that takes up 4,000. I technically could have moved more flat packs in, but this gives me time. It gives me a whole 4 days basically to go and earn the money to buy all of the rest of the flat packs or to wait for a faction member or another pilot in the galaxy to make and sell me flat packs for cheaper, whatever. Um, it gives me time, right? So I don't like to get ahead of myself. I start with these three and then I build up the credits to do what I need to do for the rest. Again, that's my preference. I'm going to move um, both of these types of workers over, and then I'm going to come here and show you that I go and go over here and say the white collar worker is now assigned. The support is now floating. Okay. You'll come over here and you'll see that the support, there's two that are not, they don't have a position, and one of my white collar does. When I build this remote array, it will, um, it requires a specialist to be assigned, and then it requires a white collar to be free. Alrighty. So if I didn't have two of each, I couldn't, if I assigned the specialist to the remote array, it would remove this support and my colony command center would go down. If I assign the specialist, then like this, so if and this is the white color is assigned. So when I build the remote array, if I didn't have the white color there, it would say you're missing the support detail and it would not be running properly. So for me and my Dory brain, I just dropped both of them off because I know that in 2 days I'm going to need that. And then, like I said, I always start the reactor first. You can't build any other flat packs. They all require power generation. So reactor is the very first thing after the command center that I will begin construction. There are negatives here. Um, if you see here, though, it still states that the contentment index is 0. They cancel each other out because um, it my colony is expanding and I just put in workers, and I could actually make it a positive by coming down here and giving those 4 workers a raise just to start the tie, and then I have it as a +1. Okay? So then you just go through and you use the spreadsheet that I showed you guys yesterday, and the link is in that website if you guys need to have it again. But that is how you build the colonies. That is the basic UI, and the moving of your ship around. So unless there are other questions, I am going to call it a night. I'm going to edit these videos for you. I'll either edit them tonight or I will edit them tomorrow morning since it's starting to get close to my pumpkin time. Um, and get those up so that you guys have quick clips to be able to pinpoint exactly what you're needing extra information on. Um, so I appreciate you guys coming and joining. I hope you guys have a great evening. If you are over in the U.S. Canadian area, or are just now going to bed over in UK time. So, um, yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks, guys.